I would like now to turn to the case of Honorable Kyagulanyi, Robert Sentamu, and the music concerts. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Uganda Police is mandated by law to protect life and property, prevent and detect crime, and maintain law and order among other functions. In view of the above, coupled with the festive season and end-of-year celebrations, which are characterized by partying and merrymaking, attracting gatherings that could be a target for crime and calamities, the force came up with guidelines to ensure that law and order to forestall acts of criminality, including but not limited to terrorism, mass murder, possible calamities, sexual assault, which could occur in these circumstances of these performances and concerts. So we gave guidelines in order to prevent these acts. These guidelines are for all to adhere to for the good of the organizers as well as the revelers. All people, of course. What else? Honorable members, it's not wise to look at economic benefits alone during this contact without taking care of public security and safety. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the Uganda Police Force shared the guidelines I have mentioned with the public, which were popularized through all media platforms. Secondly, these same guidelines were shared with Honorable Kyagulanyi Sentamu on December 5th, 2018. They were thoroughly discussed. He promised to comply and adhere to these guidelines. The other promoters of concerts were equally brought on board in view of the same for purposes of effective policing. Honorable members, it's on record that many of the promoters have sought security to police their concerts. For those that write to the police and comply with the guidelines, security is availed. A case in point is the Busabala Chengera concert organized by Emma Promotions, and Honorable Kyagulanyi performed during that concert. However, those that do not comply with the guidelines, thereby compromising health, safety, and security of everyone, are further advised on the importance of public security and safety. Government shall not simply look on and abdicate its duties of protecting people and their property. I would like now to draw your attention to a music concert organized in Jinja on Saturday, December 15th. The promoters and organizers had several planning meetings with the security to secure the event. The routes for this event were properly planned and secured to regulate traffic flow. Stewards were put in place, and police officers were deployed on the venue and along the roads. Regrettably, that evening, Honorable Kyagulanyi, who was not on the list of performers, acted contrary to the set guidelines, flouting traffic laws, held the procession along Iganga Road in Jinja, thereby disrupting traffic flow and causing disorder and disharmony. The police intervened and restored law and order, and thereafter the concert went on peacefully. A gentleman by the name of Bwanika Dennis, who was the organizer of the concert in Jinja, has written a statement to say Honorable Kyagulanyi was not on the list of the people to perform in that concert. Lastly, I appeal to you all colleagues to join hands with security agencies to secure the country, because security is not only preserved by security agencies, it is a known fact that security begins with you, the individual. I wish to take this opportunity, honorable members, to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2019. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. As I indicated earlier, I had a delegation today of the performers, and among the things they raised was the cost of planning and then being stretched at the end. It involves hiring venues, it involves employing people who are cooking food to serve, who invest money in cooking so that thousands are going to eat. It involves additional musicians, the smaller people who come to also to earn money there. It involves the people who sell beer, Fanta. So according to them, one stoppage affects thousands of people. So they asked me to tell you that they need to, that issue needs to be addressed, that they need to be assisted to carry out their activities. The second matter they raised is that the conditions they are given to comply earlier are hard. For instance, they showed me a letter where they are told to indicate expected number of revelers in the event. Expected number. I don't know how you can estimate the expected number. Number two, measures that you have put in place for crowd control. 3, proposed traffic route control and measures to ensure the safety of motor vehicles of the revelers. By the people. The measures, wait. 4, the measures and resources available for emergency response, including medical provision, fire and evacuation in case need arises, security measures and resources available, e.g. walkthroughs, that one I accept, hand probes, sniffer dogs, measures put in place for crowd control that steward proportionate to the number of revelers of the event. Honourable Minister, I don't know whether an ordinary person can actually, a small ordinary person can meet those conditions. And this was written by one of your officers as small police. So they are saying these are very hard conditions for not a small investor to be able to fulfill before they can be allowed to undertake the activity. So I was delivering a message. Honorable Muyanja.
Procedure, Madam Speaker. Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Muiru, you are the shadow.
Okay, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on a point of procedure as having been written to him by one of the organizers, and I saw him putting it in his court. I was only wondering, Madam, whether it's not procedurally right that that document is laid on table so that we can have access to and look at its authenticity, because it has implication, because and as far as I'm concerned, Madam Speaker, I represent the area where the show was taking place. Honorable Kyagulanyi informed me at the contract, and the minister is on the floor with a document which has not laid on table, saying that actually Honorable Kyagulanyi was gate crashing at a function. Somehow, whether it's not that he lays the document, so that at an opportune time, we can compare the document he has remained with the statements he has actually uttered on the floor of Parliament.
Honourable Minister, since you have mentioned the document, please read the date, author, the subject, and then...
I'd like to take this opportunity to lay on table a statement made by one, Wanika Dennis, who was one of the organizers of the function on 15th of December in Jinja.
Mbaju, then Sereko.
You started with me, right, Honourable Speaker.
There is some points of procedure.
This House is aware that last year, on 7th October 2017, I organized a similar concert in Kasese and Kasese municipality. This concert was approved right away from the Inspector General Police then. On the last day towards the concert, having realized and known, even in the letter that I wrote to them, that the main performer was Honorable Bobi Wine Kyagulanyi, the concert was stopped at night. And the reason for stopping that concert was for security reasons. The concert was supposed to be held in my constituency, together with Honorable Centenary. I wondered what security reasons Kyagulanyi could cause in my constituency. When I put them to task through you, Madam Speaker, police, even having defended themselves on the floor of Parliament, went ahead and compensated me. It is the same statement I'm seeing the minister laying on table. The same statement is giving to the country. Why don't you be clear and state the reason? If you are fearing Kyagulanyi, state it openly that the man is too hard for us, and we know. Rather than threatening his businesses. Madam Speaker, the country cannot be led on masquerading systems. The police cannot continue masquerading. If they could stop me, even when it was not Christmas season, if they could stop Kyagulanyi from traveling to Kasese, even when he was not what you are fearing. Proceed, Madam Law.
Honourable Member, you have only 2 minutes. If you are generous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just would like to inform the Honourable colleague that even when Honourable Kyagulanyi organized a concert in Gulu, it was stopped. And that was about 2-3 weeks ago. If they want to say Christmas season is the reason for stopping. Thank you.
As the guardians of the law, Article 21 of the Constitution commands all of us to respect all rights of people and for them to seek equal protection and enjoy equal protection by the law. There are various shows that have been transpiring. When we heard Honorable Kyagulanyi speak the other time, his only question was, why him and why not others? The guidelines are stringent for him. We know he's practicing politics just like we are doing as an occupation, but he has a profession. Therefore, for every one of us that is here that have their professions, we should be given the opportunity to enjoy practicing them without our rights being infringed upon. In this matter, the police has used the Public Order Management Act and abused it in most cases in order to stifle those that are preparing occasions or events that are not within their favor. The parliamentary imam has recently written to the police and recently written to the Ministry of Defense asking for Muslims to pray, to perform prayers at Kololo Independence Grounds. There is collusion in this matter as well. We've been just addressing a press conference and they have told us all the dates at Kololo Airstrip are booked. Why? Because we want to come up with a protest on how unfairly the Muslim people are treated in this country before the law. In the same faith, this happened to the Chalenga concert where Nambole was played about with deal-darling with the management of Nambole until, due to public demand, he had to switch the venue to Busabala. Notwithstanding, even when he went to Busabala, he was here on record and he said, all events that were scheduled to take place in Busabala have now been cancelled. Why? Because police has communicated to all event organizers that Busabala is a no-go venue. That means this is intentional to deprive him of his rights to perform his economic rights and enjoy his freedoms economically and socially in this country. So it's not all about shows and what transpired in Jinja, but also his business at the beach.
Honorable Senyonga.
What my colleague has said, but I want to add, Right Honorable Speaker, that even if you comply, because I'm an artist, even if you comply with all the requirements. Secondly, when the organizers are given a chance and you give money to the OC in the church, the OC does not even pay the watoto who are to do the work. At the end of that day, they disorganize the function. They start also allowing their own relatives and friends. So the organizers are always operating on a loss. So let us be very clear. What are the required number of police to guard a performance? Forget about Honorable Bobi Kyagulanyi, who is at least of a certain level. But even the juniors are also treated unfairly. When they come to a place like Satellite Beach in Mukono, which I know better, they are demanded to pay not less than $1 million for security guards. For police, which should be entirely free, Honorable Minister, because you have said police is here to guard we, the individuals, and our property, so that every Ugandan can enjoy life without any fear or being favored. So our concern, Right Honorable Speaker, goes to the Minister. Really, when are we going, we as artists, to have the freedom? Because recently, Right Honorable Kyagulanyi just bypassed my home area, Kisoga, and immediately I started receiving.
Once you check in our Constitution, Article 212, subsection C, on the functions of police, it says prevent, detect crime. Then D, cooperate with the civilian authority. Right Honorable Speaker, I would love to know at what stage does police reach at a time of detecting and preventing crime? What if there was a function going on and police comes on board and says there is something that is going on? Must you wait until that problem or that danger occur? I would love to really echo on what Honorable Mbaji talked about on the function that was going on in Kasese when Honorable Kyagulanyi was performing, but police came in and stopped the function. Meaning that something happened and the police came in to save the lives of people who are gathering there at that particular point. I would love to really to tell my fellow colleagues, members of parliament, we need life. We must be protected. Police must be also protected because we pay them and these are their functions. We must give them the real rights on how they can be really performed. At that point, Madam Speaker, on the report that was read by our Honourable Minister, Order. It was right. Order, because people's lives had to be protected. Order. Because crime was detected.
Point of order.
Order.
Point of order, Honourable Mbaji.
Madam Speaker.
In the middle are many, many Ugandans, many small people who put their money into these activities. And in relation to Honorable Mbaji, I had to spend time. I summoned the IGP to negotiate over his money. I spent over 4 months talking to General Kaihura, please, pay this money's money. So, balance the boat.
Yes, thank you, Madam. No,